Pharaoh's cruel command had spread throughout Egypt. Every Hebrew baby boy was supposed to be thrown into the Nile River. Fear filled the hearts of the Israelites, but God was about to begin something extraordinary. At that time, a man and woman from the tribe of Levi had a baby boy. When his mother saw him, she knew he was a special child. For 3 months, she hid him from Pharaoh's soldiers. But as the baby grew, it became impossible to keep him hidden. So his mother made a basket out of reeds, coated it with tar and pitch, and carefully placed the baby inside. Then she set the basket among the reeds along the bank of the Nile River. The baby's sister stood at a distance, watching to see what would happen. Soon, Pharaoh's daughter came down to the river to bathe. As she walked along the riverbank, she noticed the basket among the reeds. She sent one of her servants to bring it to her. When she opened the basket, she saw the baby crying. Immediately, her heart was filled with compassion. She knew he was one of the Hebrew children. Just then, the baby's sister stepped forward. She asked, "Shall I go and find a Hebrew woman to nurse the child for you?" Pharaoh's daughter agreed. So the girl quickly brought the baby's own mother. Pharaoh's daughter said, "Take this child and care for him for me, and I will pay you." In an amazing act of God's providence, the baby's mother was allowed to care for her own son. When the child grew older, she brought him back to Pharaoh's daughter. The princess adopted him as her son and named him Moses because she had drawn him out of the water. Years passed. Moses grew up in Pharaoh's palace. He received the education and privileges of Egypt's royal household. But Moses never forgot that he was a Hebrew. One day, he saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew slave. Looking around and seeing no one nearby, Moses struck the Egyptian and killed him. Then he hid the body in the sand. The next day, Moses saw 2 Hebrews fighting. When he tried to stop them, one of them said, "Who made you ruler and judge over us? Are you going to kill me as you killed the Egyptian?" Moses realized that his secret had become known. When Pharaoh heard what Moses had done, he tried to kill him. So Moses fled from Egypt and escaped into the land of Midian. There he sat beside a well. Soon, 7 daughters of a man named Jethro came to draw water for their sheep. But some shepherds drove them away. Moses stepped in and defended them. Then he helped water their flock. When the women returned home, their father invited Moses to stay with them. Eventually, Moses married Jethro's daughter Zipporah, and they had a son. Meanwhile, back in Egypt, the Israelites continued to suffer under slavery. They cried out to God for help, and God heard their cries. God remembered his covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He saw the suffering of his people, and he was preparing to act. Exodus chapter 2 reminds us that even when God seems silent, he is still working behind the scenes. Moses thought he was running away from his future, but in reality, God was preparing him for the greatest mission of his life. The deliverer of Israel had been saved, protected, and prepared by God himself. But how will God call Moses? And what mission will change his life forever? We will find out in Exodus chapter 3. And don't miss chapter 3, so subscribe now.